Welcome to the InnerPrincess course guide to Arizona Modern Hard on Walkabout Mini Golf. This video will cover the first 9 holes, looking at the different options available to you and what my recommendation is. I'll also include guidance on potential hole-in-one routes in case you'd rather show off than win. The course is set in the Arizona desert during a beautiful twilight period. It's one of the most peaceful and tranquil spaces to be in the game, which is why the designers decided to ruin this and your round with their evil course design. With some practice and some careful evaluation, there's still plenty of opportunity to get one over on the design and on your opponents. Hole 1 starts you off with a fairly straightforward drop to play into. There is little alternative to dropping down this route, so just go ahead and send your ball onwards. The hole is made up of a number of compartments to redirect your ball, and occasionally you'll get lucky and end up with a line to the hole. The only way to guarantee your ball heading through one of the forward-facing slots is to play at such a weight that it drops clean into the tunnel. You still won't gain much from this though, as you'll almost certainly hit the barrier around the green. Your goal here is to get out in a maximum of the par 3, and with some sensible putting that shouldn't be too hard. Despite first appearances, this hole does actually have a hole-in-one route. It's not easy and I haven't even hit it myself yet. To do this, you need to aim immediately left to get a bounce skimming across the wide opening. If you manage to judge this just right, your ball will take a jump up, and with a lucky bounce off the back rocks, it will come back towards the hole. Moving on to hole 2, you'll notice that there's a theme developing for this course's design, and that is curves and circles. This hole is based around an S-bend leading to a medium-sized circular green. The route is impaired by bricks along the outer and inner edges of the bend, which block the easy path around. If you get your angle wrong on the tee, your ball is sent unceremoniously back towards you and out of bounds. The target here is to aim at least straight on, preferably slightly left of straight, and give your ball a good firm hit. There's not too much danger of launching out of bounds, so don't be guilty of underhitting. This should leave you with a putt of 4 to 7 feet, which you should hope to sink for a birdie too. If you want to try for the hole-in-one, you're best off aiming to hit the left edge in front of your ball just before it curves off to become a corner. Give it a good whack and you've got a chance the bounce gods may look favourably on you and take you close to the cup. A short walk up the stairs takes you to hole 3, which takes the form of 2 curved bowls, one of which you start from leading up to a flat, round green. There's no direct rolling path to the green, so you'll have to launch your ball up using the side banking. The second pit is there in case you don't feel confident making the full leap in one shot, and is reasonably risk-free. The issue then arises that playing out of the pit with your ball off-centre makes your angle play a little more complex. It's still possible to hole out in 2 from here, but it's a tricky putt. Your target would be to make it in 3 going this way, which would still be 1 under par. Taking the direct path brings you a harder first shot, but the potential to make it out in 1 or 2 putts. To make this shot, you'll almost certainly need to bounce at least once on the stone between you and the green. Be aware that this is not as flat as it seems, and be prepared for the occasional wild sideways kick. Judging your power right here is key, and I'm always successful when I hit a little harder than I instinctively feel I should. Once you're on the green, keep your focus up to hole out in 2. Of course, the albatross hole-in-one is available, it's just a very fine balance of line and weight, and luck. Hole 4 is one of the most intricate holes on the course. The particular skill you'll need in order to master this layout is the fine touch to send your ball up a ramp without it jumping over a perimeter wall. This is a touch shot you'll need to play 2 to 3 times just to reach the cup. Most of the time, you'll end up laying up to the first trough straight ahead of you. From this point, you have 2 ramps to contend with in one shot if you even want to have just a direct line to the flag. If you're not confident in your second shot, don't play it. Lay up to the base of the next ramp and queue up shots 3 and 4. If you can finish this hole in 4 shots, you've done okay. Getting out under par will need at least 1 carefully finessed ramp shot, but the risk of going out of bounds is high. The ideal tee shot involves aiming slightly left to catch a better rebound angle and hitting with just enough power to clear the first trough and catch the back wall on the full. Get it right and you'll send your ball to the bottom of the final ramp. From here, you'll need to pull off another spectacle of weight balance to find the cup, but if you miss, you would still hope to get out in a birdie 3. The hole-in-one is theoretically available, but to do this you'll need to introduce your ball to the boundary rock straight ahead of your tee shot and hope for the best. Hole 5 is, for me, one of the easiest holes on the course. The hole sits on an island surrounded by a rocky out-of-bounds moat. The surrounding mat, which leads you to the only bridge to the cup, a full 180 degrees from where you are, has a lipless banking at its perimeter. Playing up to this banking won't ever deliver your ball to within range of a straight line to the hole, so this route would be a par 3 putt at best. A rock just off to your right offers a plausible bounce back to the bridge, but this can also easily send your ball into the moat. The best route, and the most gangster approach, is to go straight at the cup for an eagle. Aim to the left side of the rock facing you and give it a sensible firm push to send your ball towards the hole and hopefully in for an eagle. Hole 6 is a fairly straightforward path too, and you'll be hoping for a 2 or 3 here. The pit you're in is divided into quarters, and using the surrounding banking is your path around. As the angle doesn't allow you to clear 2 quarters in the one shot, you'll want to confidently lay up in the next zone with enough angle to play for the cup on the following shot. To have a chance at making the next putt, you'll need to play a medium gentle weight with a line tight to the divider. Getting out in 2 always looks and feels good here. If not, you've got a safe par 3. The hole-in-one is possible but very tricky. You'll need to launch your ball out of the pit to catch the steeper edged section of the rebound rock next to the stairs. This has a chance at sending your ball into the cup's quarter and hopefully in for 1. If you're in competition, don't even think about it. It's a shot for the practice round only. Hole 7's layout is like 2 separate figure 8s joined at the hip. Every circle apart from the final green has a pit of out of bounds at the centre, meaning the sensible route to the hole is to play around the curved edges. There's plenty of debate about the better way to go in this par 3, and the choice is either left or right. Playing to the left means you'll need to clear 3 curves before reaching the green, so you'll need to give it a good whack. Hitting it hard also helps to keep your ball safe in this direction, and if you catch the last edge favourably, you'll be close to or even in the hole. Playing to the right uses only 2 curves to get to the green and favours a softer, more precise hit. This route is less likely to go in 1 and actually more likely to go out of bounds, so I'd say play the longer route, aim for the dot on the ground and hit it hard. Getting this right should give you a 2 and should nudge your scorecard further into the negative. Hole 8 is one of the hardest holes in the entire course and has ruined many a good round. This half pipe from hell gives you a route to the hole cluttered with halfway holding points, out of bounds bunkers and lucky, or unlucky, rocks. To make your way towards the flag, you'll need to launch your ball up either side of the ramp. Most people go left here, and that's partly because of the right-hander's stance and partly because the routes are not symmetrical, with the left path offering an extra supportive rock in one of the cutouts. If you're not feeling lucky, you can take this hole section by section, playing a safer shot to the first relief channel before taking another shot to the next. Remember, the more power you put into each launch, the more potential for unpredictable bounces and outcomes, so softer is safer here. Alternatively, you can launch straight for the furthest corridor which leads to the hole. The best way many players find to do this is by aiming at your back wall first to get a sharper angle on your launch. This means you won't need the ball to go as high in order to go as far. If you underhit and drop down to the second out of bounds channel, that rock mentioned at the start provides some potential relief, as it is reasonably flat and neatly positioned to pop the ball, hopefully, back on track. For this reason, I aim for that out of bounds rock, knowing that I have a chance of staying in if my weight is right, but also relief if I over or underhit, giving me a higher percentage shot. If you're lucky enough to make it in 1 launch from the tee, you'll probably have a line for an albatross too. If you have to take the safer route, you may well still score a respectable eagle 3. Hole 9 is played across 3 tiers and the only way is down. The 3 tiers host 3 circular mats with a significant drop between each. This provides for an interesting hole which I find to be one of the most engaging on the course. There are really only 3 ways to play this hole: a safer direct route and 2 alternatives which shoot for the green or even hole in 1. Starting with the safest route, you'll want to play a gentle weight just beyond the edge of your top tier mat. Judge it right and your ball will drop safely down to the middle zone. From here, if you line yourself up nicely and get lucky with your bounce, you still have a chance at an eagle too, and it's always an enjoyable putt to make. Even missing this putt should still leave you a certain birdie, so consider that this relatively simple route can still improve your scorecard. The next 2 routes attempt to hit the green in 1 shot. The first is to aim for the leftmost point of the opening at a weight gentle enough to just make it over the edge. Doing so will send your ball down for a bounce or 2 on the stone before dropping further still to the green. Make it and you'll leave a short eagle putt, but one risk you faced here is catching the edge of the stone and waving goodbye to your ball as it makes a run for freedom in the desert. The second route is my favourite, partly because I find it a little safer and partly because it's different. This route involves using the curve to your right to set the ball on a course towards the cup via the middle mat. Under hit and you should still end up with a similar second putt as the safe option. Get the weight right and you can make it down to the green in 1, ready for an eagle 2 putt. The way I'd suggest picking your method is, if you want to play safe, take the first option. If you favour line over weight, play the second, and if you favour weight over line, play the third. This concludes the front 9 and hopefully sets you up with around 7 to 12 under par ready for the back 9. I find the challenges posed by the design of this course to be some of the most enjoyable to take on, providing you know what you're doing. Where there are multiple routes for each hole, I highly recommend hitting the practice option and trying each out. Whichever method you go for, make sure you have confidence in what you're doing. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in part 2 for the back 9. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel to be alerted when that video comes out and drop me a comment. It helps me to know what information is useful to the viewers so I can refine future content. Once again, please do check out the Discord for a brilliantly welcoming community, as well as the Facebook group if that's your preferred platform, and I look forward to seeing you out on the course.